57-year-old Sarah Roberts and her 25-year-old daughter Sharon Roberts were found dead in their sixth-floor apartment on West 125th Street in Harlem, New York on February 20, 1994. Their bodies were found by a home health care worker who helped to take care of Sharon, who was developmentally disabled, and Sarah, who had emphysema. Both women were strangled. Sarah's body was found on her bed. Sharon was found with the tube from her mother's oxygen tank and a pair of leggings tied around her neck. Police were not able to find a motive for the killings or a suspect. The women were fully clothed. In December 1993, 1 week before Christmas, there was a burglary at the home. Money and VHS tapes were taken. After that incident, Sarah installed a third lock. When the women were found, their apartment was partially ransacked, but there were no signs of forced entry. The police were stumped in 1994. In 2022, using technology unavailable in 1994, detectives submitted DNA evidence from the 29-year-old crime scene for additional testing, including cigarette butts and fingernail clippings. On January 23, 2023, 64-year-old Larry Atkinson, now confined to a wheelchair, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder. Larry, a career criminal, has a record with 28 arrests. He also spent time in jail several times. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison on an assault conviction and was paroled in 1987, online state records show. Larry also did state time on assault, drug, and attempted robbery charges. He was last paroled in 2013 after serving another 2 years on an attempted drug sale conviction. Larry was dating the home health care aide Celeste Cornelius at the time of the murder. They still lived together 13 blocks from the scene of the crime at the time of his arrest. She defended him. She's being quoted by the New York Post as saying, "I know he didn't do it. I don't want you to misquote me, but I know he didn't do it. I don't care about the DNA, none of that mess. He didn't do it." At his first court appearance, Larry was held without bail.
Defender Service of Harlem, I'm Sharon Roberts. Good afternoon, Councilman.
Brian Rodkey, R-O-D-K-E-Y for the people. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rodkey. Good afternoon, Mr. Atkinson. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you today, sir? Will you return before the case is called?
Yes.
All right, then did she answer your questions? Thank you. All right, so this matter is on for arraignment. Madam Clerk, go ahead, please.
Larry Atkinson, the grand jury of New York County, filed an indictment 70453 of 23, charging him with 2 counts of murder in the second degree. How do you plead to this indictment, sir? Yes or no?
You got the wrong person in jail. You're not guilty.
It could be in the hallway. I think it's a shame.
It's kind of scary, that's all I can tell you.
Detectives at the time told us the bodies were discovered by the home health care worker assigned to take care of Sharon, who was intellectually disabled.
She came over and found that the door was unlocked.
The home health care worker was not considered a suspect at the time and was cleared. Now, decades later, cold case detectives once again ran the DNA found at the crime scene through national databases. And they say it's a match to Atkinson. Larry Atkinson, now 64 years old, had been living here at 71 West 112th Street. This is where he was arrested. Neighbors saying they saw a lot of police activity. Sources say back in 1994, Atkinson had been dating the home health care worker who found the bodies. Monday night, Atkinson's neighbors didn't want to talk about the arrest on camera. And at the victim's apartment, almost 29 years later, tenants were unaware of the double murder.